Hello, everybody. Today I'm looking at another May Wolf entry. This time it's Farewell Wanderlust by Chellay Tiger. I guess sort of content warning. It says there's slurs and homophobia and depression, and then there's also explicit sex. So hopefully I can just blur it out, and that's fine. I don't monetize anyway, so I don't have to worry about that part. Anyway, whatever. Let's go. September 9th, 2001. That's an unfortunate date. And you're sure we won't get caught? No. That's not exactly reassuring. Relax, dude. What? It's a reasonable worry. Is it? I don't know what to say in response to that, so I turn my gaze to the horizon. After a brief moment, I find a way to switch the topic. I don't think I've ever just sat and looked at the sunset before. Usually I just sit inside, headphones on, trying to drown something out. If it's not someone shouting or noisy traffic, it's the storm inside my head. Sometimes it's all of those things, and when that happens, it's all magnified. There isn't much space between houses here. I'm sure someone hears it, so I'm always embarrassed. As if it's my fault. As if the wounds and chains are my fault. As if I could cure them when they're constantly being torn open. I used to be hopeful. If someone hears, maybe someone would intervene. I'm not helpful anymore, just numb. I shake my head, fixing my gaze on the horizon once more. When did I start looking at my feet? It doesn't matter. I want to think about anything else. Something that isn't numb. It's red. A lazy grin, just a half lift of my friend's upper lip. Is that what you see? Yes. Yes? You know, maybe if we were closer it would be blue. Blue? Yeah, blue. I don't ask why. It's silent, the sun sinking over the horizon. Something about light waves, I don't know. At the time, it didn't occur to me to ask where he heard that. Lots of things didn't occur to me back then. Hell, that's still the case. I wonder what it would be like to have facts lodged in your brain like that. Their needling reminding you that they're still there. The pop of a lid off of a bottle brings me back to reality. Want a beer? I shake my head. Dude, you gotta loosen up. He takes a long draft. They call it the doppelganger effect, I think. Or maybe it's something else. I don't know, I don't pay much attention to that nerd stuff. Basically, light changes as it moves. The further it has to go to get to you, the redder it gets. I wonder, how would it feel to change as you move like that? To be changed as you move rather than stagnant. Is it actually a change? Or is it just, I don't know, immediately different when we see it? Eyes wide, his gaze meets mine. I didn't even notice I was looking at him. Whoa, far out. Oh, actually, I think it's the Doppler effect, not the doppelganger effect, but maybe that's why I got it wrong. A dualistic nature, twisted in perception. What would it be like to exist for yourself, rather than only taking on shape when around others? You really have to lighten up. You look like you're a million miles away. My shirt is too tight. I don't reply, instead picking at the collar and eventually undoing one button. I wonder what it would be like if the sun were to just explode. I spread my hands. Kaboom. Everyone would die, dude. Well, yeah. But for that moment, do you think the light would be red or blue? I pretend to think for a moment. It would be red. Why do you say that? Because of the blood. It comes out clinically, numbly. I pick at a scab on my leg. It comes off, a sharp pain. It should mean something, but it doesn't. Not even as the blood mats my fur. I've probably made another scar for myself. Not that it matters. I have too many of those already. I spread my arms again, jostling my friend. Boom! 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 I wave my hands in mock imitation of a conductor. It would feel good, I think, to make someone else hurt, to make someone else feel what I've felt or don't feel. Maybe it would make me feel guilty. Maybe it would make me feel something. I'm on the ground, grass tickling my back. When did that happen? It was like a piece fell out of the universe. My friend's eyes meet mine. Of course they do, with our faces so close together. I can practically hear the bad thoughts in your head. If you could go anywhere, where would it be? Somewhere that isn't here. He laughs. That's a bit vague, isn't it? Surely you have a better answer than that. Do I? I suppose I might. I don't know. Anywhere someone would take me in. I think for a moment. Somewhere that smells like travel. Like engine oil, the sweat of a long journey, a busted and mended car. Somewhere with good company and good advice. But that's silly. That's too hopeful, so I don't say it. Anywhere I can get to with my own 2 feet. I'm not gonna get very far that way. Maybe so, but at least I'd have earned it fair and square. You are allowed to depend on others, you know. Not many people would let me. Have you met all people? Well, no, but I can't explain it to him. I just know he's wrong. He was wrong. It doesn't matter now that I've made my choice. I imagine he doesn't remember that moment. Or if he does, he doesn't think about it much. Think about it every day, though. I may not be able to get far on my own, but I can still move. It's the moment when I realize that. And maybe he's right, that there are people who I can depend on, somewhere. I doubt it. But if they're out there, I want to find them. And I suppose there's one particular way to depend on people that might suit my fancy. If I happen to meet any handsome men along the way, that wouldn't exactly be the worst thing in the world. In the meantime, I'll just be me. Whatever that means, because I don't know what it does right now. Maybe I'll find out. Maybe I won't. But hopefully I'll at least get far away from where I started. September 9th, 2007. And that's the thought that carries me as I drive to my starting point. Petrichor coming in through the open windows and tickling my nostrils. The worn-out steering wheel is fighting me. It really doesn't want to move. I keep having to remind myself that I don't need to find a mechanic. I'm not exactly planning on coming back for the car. If I need a ride anywhere, I can always hitchhike. I hope I don't need to explore that option, though. I'm almost at the state border. There was a sign a while back saying I'll cross into Arizona in 50 miles. A little under an hour, and then it'll just be me and my feet. I didn't think about this when I started driving, but it's good that it's autumn. I'd definitely get heat stroke in the Arizona weather if it was summer. Though, walking shirtless and letting passing men ogle me does sound fun. Maybe if it's warm enough, I'll do it anyway. The wind is brisk right now, but that might just be because I'm in the car. I'm used to cold weather, though. Done a lot of stupid stuff like skinny dip at California beaches. So I can definitely suffer that hardship if the time calls for it. The dusty road starts to get bumpier and the foliage thins out as I drive. As it's a bit past noon, the sun will start to get in the way of my eyes soon. I should be able to park before then, though. I shift around in my seat and tap my hands on the leathery wheel. I'm starting to feel restless and kind of anxious, almost as if I'm late for an important meeting. I mean, what I'm about to do might not be for a meeting, but it is important. I speed up a little, going just a bit faster than is safe. I know the start of the journey is going to be the hardest part, so I just want to get it over with. Finally, after a jolt where the road is particularly bad, I cross the border into Arizona. I pull to a stop at a dilapidated gas station soon after. I didn't bring much with me, just a couple changes of clothes and a camp bag, some sentimentals in a duffel bag, and my wallet. It doesn't take me long to pull it all out. There's also some energy drinks and snacks that I shove into the duffel bag. I also put the bag of oats I brought into my camp bag. I'll need to buy more as I walk, but this much should last a good long while. With the clothes already inside, it barely fits, but I can force the zipper shut. I was going to put it in the duffel bag, but that'd be too heavy. I lean against the car for a moment after I've gotten all my things ready. This is it. The moment I've been waiting years for. All I need to do is take the first step and my life will completely transform itself in ways I've never imagined it would. There shouldn't be anything holding me back, but I feel frozen in place regardless. A feeling of restlessness overtakes me, and I start tapping my hands against the car door. To occupy my hands while I try to pull myself together to begin walking, I open the hood of the car and start examining its inner workings for several minutes. It's an old car, but it's in pretty good condition, all things considered, so there isn't actually much to look at. My paws are a little grimy when I finally stand up. I wipe them as best as I can, but the stains cling to my fur. Now I'm just stalling. I don't even know anything about cars. I close the car's hood. If I'm gonna be stuck here, I might as well do something I like. I cue up some songs on my MP3 Walkman and slump against the car. Having music in the background brings me some clarity. What am I doing? This is a bad idea. But staying would have been an equally bad idea. I just know that place was going to kill me if I stayed. Or maybe someone else. The way my anger would get sometimes still scares me. No, going back is not an option. I have to march on, regardless of my own personal feelings. Not sure how long I sit there before forcing myself to my feet. I didn't look at my phone, so the time can only be tracked by the fact that my playlist ended. Whatever, it doesn't matter much. There's still plenty of lights, so I can start my journey with little hassle. Time to get moving. With one step forward, I feel the weight of a new chapter of my life unfolding right below my feet. Not a big deal, I tell myself. The weather's a bit lukewarm right now, so the walk starts out fairly easy. I don't plan to go very far today, just walking till sunset. I'm gonna stop at that point and lie down under the stars. I'm far from civilization, so there shouldn't be much pollution. I haven't seen many constellations, but they should be crystal clear out here. I can follow the road, of course, but it would be pretty cool to follow the North Star instead. I did this to get some distance from everything after all, so navigating without the trappings of modern society would be nice. Maybe when it gets hot, I'll sleep during the day and walk through the dark of night. That's the problem for future me, though. Right now, I just have to put one foot in front of the other. I know I'm gonna get tired eventually, but for now, it's an easy walk. And I just realized I don't know how hilly Arizona is. Hopefully there aren't many, or at least not many that the road doesn't cut through. I'm in pretty good shape, so I can manage it. But that would still suck.
Hey, I know it's awkward considering what happened last night, but can we just forget what happened?
It's hard not to think about the future right now.
I don't want to lose you for a stupid fucking reason.
I have my phone with me, but I've decided at this point to only use it in an emergency.
I may be gay.
With nothing to distract me, my thoughts keep drifting forward.
Fuck, sorry, man.
And assuming a relatively good pace, I should make it to Phoenix in 6 days. Do I stop there? That would definitely be the sensible thing to do, but I'm not sure if I want to do the sensible thing. I probably will stop in a motel for a night or two when I get there, though. No! I did leave my vehicle at the gas station at a gas station at the border, but I thought it wouldn't take so long to get away from any signs of life. Yet, no matter how far I walk, there are still buildings. I'm in some small town, I guess. Why is it that trips for rugby games always took me through hundreds of miles of nothing, but when I actually want that nothing, I can't find it? Faced with the prospect of a reality I don't want to engage with, I do what I always do. I yank my headphones out of my duffel bag and put them on. If anything can soothe my nerves at a time like this, it'd be the sound of a twinkly guitar. I'm not in the mood for any particular song right now, so I just hit shuffle on my playlist. My legs are starting to feel weary a lot faster than I expected. It's a little tricky to focus on the songs because of their dull ache. I guess I got ahead of myself in thinking this would be easy because of my rugby experience. Different forms of endurance, I suppose. A place to stop for a little bit would be nice, but I don't want to stop in this neighborhood. The benches here are few and far between. When they are present, they're old and run down on cracked sidewalks. Nothing pretty or calming in sight. I'm also getting some odd looks from people who probably think I'm homeless. Which, now that I think about it, isn't far from the truth. I knew getting looks was part of the deal, but all of a sudden I'm struck by the sensation that I do not want to be here. Which is the exact opposite of why I started doing this. Don't look at me. Leave me alone. Let me be. Without thinking about it, I spin around and begin walking faster in the opposite direction. A couple of miles back, there was a small road, only one lane wide, that led to a sparse forest. I'll go there. Anything would be better than here. And even though this town isn't massive, there's still enough light pollution to obscure the stars. My legs are starting to hurt. And I bet my feet stink right now. A stream to wash them in would be really nice. Maybe I'll find one if I go into the forest.
Hey, I know it's awkward considering what happened last night.
I let my thoughts wander, merging and blending with the lyrics of the music
I
playing.
don't want to lose you for a stupid fucking reason.
Eventually, my feet carry me to the fork in the road that I saw earlier.
Look, I love you, but only as a friend.
The sun has just started to dip below the horizon at this point.
And besides, you're not that hot.
I'm right near the road, so I go a bit further.
Can I start over?
I stop beneath a lone tree and pull out my sleeping bag. It's still a little light out, but that's one of the good things about this mad quest of mine. I don't need to conform to anyone's clock but my own. Nor do I have to worry about looking like an absolute wreck to anyone when I'm self-dependent. Well, it'd be nice if a good-looking man offered to sleep with him for the night. But I'm not exactly holding out for that possibility. And even then, they would have to put up with my musk until I got clean. It's still warm out though, so after setting my sleeping bag under the tree, I just lay on top of it. There isn't much going on, but it's peaceful. Not much to occupy my mind, so I just watch the cars passing by for a little while. A bunch are going by right now. I wonder where they're headed. Briefly, I think about how there's a chance for at least one of them to be rushing towards the emergency hospital after a loved one just got shot. Or maybe split their head open in a fall. That could be the case. Doesn't matter much, though. Not to me, anyway. For this moment, I'm free of all those concerns. I want to hold on to that freedom for as long as I can. But that's accompanied by a tremendous lack. I feel I'm missing something. It's an odd feeling, one I can't chase away. I had this feeling back then, too, when tomorrow was beyond my thoughts. I thought it'd go away once I went on this journey, but reality is disappointing, so it seems. It's becoming increasingly difficult to focus on anything but that weight, particularly once the sun has fully set and the shadows have come out. I look up. There they are. I was worried that I was too close to the urbanites to get a good look at them. That view washed away any worries I had in an instant. I don't even remember the last time I saw stars this clearly before. The twinkling of the stars takes all of my attention as I'm mesmerized by a sight I thought would only appear in dreams. In one motion, I sigh out all the tension from my body as it becomes weightless. At this moment, I get it. I can't go back. There's still so much of the world I haven't seen yet, and this is just the tipping point. I have to find out what else is out there and that I've been missing my entire life before it's too late. The idyllic moment is ended by a tiny ache in my neck, caused by looking upwards for too long. I put my head down and rub the back of my neck as reality welcomes me again. I guess no moment can last forever, can it? I kick my shoes off and spread my legs out as much as possible. I should try and sleep. When I look at the night sky for a second time while lying in my sleeping bag, that ethereal feeling doesn't come back. I just feel nothing. It was worth a shot. Instead of counting sheep, I count the stars as they come out. There are no street lamps, so the only light comes from the moon and the stars, with some occasionally coming from a passing vehicle. It's also not long before there are too many stars to count. I try to find the constellations I've seen in picture books, but it's too hard to make them out in the sea of stars. The attempt quickly becomes exhausting, and I feel my eyes start to fall shut. I roll over to one side, content to let sleep come when it will. I'm not sure when sleep comes, however. I only realize it does when there's cold wind rather than the warm wind of a summer night. It's a vivid dream, with scenery that is very familiar to me. The sun is just peeking over the top of one of the science buildings at the university Mike and I attended. It's on the other side of campus from where our classes usually occur. Oops. But over here, there was a fountain there that we both found relaxing. During finals week in our sophomore year, we needed something to de-stress, so we met there to watch the sunrise. I'm so ready for this week to be over. So much studying. Tell me about it. I let out an exasperated sigh. I just hope it'll be worth it once we graduate. I mean, who knows what the job market will be like in a year or two. Mike stares at the fountain for a moment. There will always be a need for engineers. But honestly, I don't care much about it. I like engineering, but really, I just want to have a stable job. Anything that pays well and allows me to leave behind something when I'm not there. Honestly, I don't care much what it is. Long as I'm with my girlfriend, I think I'll be good. A job like that sounds kind of boring, though. I want to do more with my life. I follow where Mike is looking. Not that I'd really know how to do that, I suppose. Exactly. Kinda sucks, but I don't think we can hope for anything beyond being happy ourselves. I'll probably just end up confined to some dead-end office job. I don't think I'd be happy there. Sure, it would pay the bills, but I think I'd waste away doing it. With each day I attend college, I find myself disliking the direction my life is heading more and more. At some point, I started thinking about that memory I had when the two of us were barely teens. It's been sizzling in my mind for a while, but I suddenly decide that I'm not going to do that. What I'll do instead, I have no idea. I'll have to find it with my own 2 feet, like Mike once said I should. I consider telling him that thought, but decide against it. He'd probably call it childish. I don't care much if he disapproves, but I know he tried to talk me out of it. And he knows me well enough that he might well succeed. I don't want to risk it. Doesn't have to be forever, though. You never know what'll happen after all. I keep staring at a particular spot in the fountain water without saying anything for a few seconds. Yeah, you're right. Just gotta be optimistic. I can be optimistic. Sometimes. But lately, I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I believe you can. He leans back, his head brushing against a hydrangea. Anyway, enough heavy shit. How are you feeling about the stats final tomorrow? I can pass, maybe. But it won't be a good grade. As long as you pass. Right, as long as I pass. It'll be equally worthless anyway. The memory fades away and I'm brought halfway back to consciousness by a sharp stick I rolled onto. Blearily, I realize I must have rolled off my sleeping bag. The sky has lost any hint of the sun's light by now, and the air is a little cold. I dig out and throw the stick to the side, get in my sleeping bag, and go back to sleep. You alive? I'm awoken instantly when someone gently shakes me. Although walking made it pretty easy to fall asleep, even during the day, but the sudden touch is enough to jar me awake. The moon is out, but it's still dark out and I'm sleepy, so it takes me a bit to make out the person who woke me. An older man is standing over me, his lips pulled downward in a concerned frown. He's wearing a blue cap that's slightly askew, allowing me to see all of his face. Hey kid, you okay? I'm a little dusty from sleeping in the dirt. He's kinda handsome, in a silver foxy kinda way, ironically. Even though I have no idea what direction he swings, I'm suddenly a little self-conscious. Trying to be tactful, I roll to one side and push myself to my feet, then dust myself off as best I can before I force myself to smile and reply. Yeah, I'm fine. Not sure if people who are fine sleep by the side of the road, but whatever. I'll take your word for it. Where's your family? They nearby? I try not to let my fur bristle too much and take a deep breath. Nah. I point vaguely in the way I came. A couple 100 miles that way, I guess. I see. The name's Cassidy, by the way. I'm Ash. He grins and adjusts his cap a bit. Nice to meet you, Ash. What's a kid like you doing out here all alone? You got somewhere to stay? Just making my way, I guess. Walking by the side of the road aimlessly. I chuckled dryly. Believe it or not, this is actually by choice. There's a story there, I'd wager. I can tell that he's hesitant, but he swallows and continues. Listen, there's a truck stop nearby. I could take you that way and get you a shower and some proper rest. And plus, I'd be willing to hear what what got you into this situation. That is pretty tempting. I don't notice anymore since I'm used to it, but I probably smell awful right now. A shower would definitely be nice right now. Tell me about it. I accidentally sprayed gas on myself when refueling earlier. I step a bit closer to see for myself. I can't smell anything. His eyes widen a bit. I know that expression. He's wondering if I'm old enough to handle myself, maybe looking down on me a bit. It's a little grating, but the expression on Cassidy's face seemed to be one of actual concern rather than doubt. So it doesn't bug me much. Still, I don't want to deal with his concern, so I move a little closer and theatrically sniff the air. You don't really smell bad to me. Huh. Good. Still, I can smell it. Yeah, I get that. Lead on then. Cassidy's truck is parked precariously close to the edge of the road. It's not well maintained here, so there's a sharp drop off. I don't know how likely it actually is, but I'm still relieved it didn't. Cassidy leads me around to the truck cab. So, kid, do you want to ride with me in the front or sit in the back? Both are cool with me, but there's a mini fridge with Gatorade in the back. I assume you brought water, but you gotta keep your electrolytes up as well. Getting in the back sounds like the move of someone who's too trusting, but fuck it. It's not that much more risky than getting in the front. Might as well have some fun with it, though. Depends. Will you join me there? I assume that's where the bed is, too. He gets my innuendo for certain, as he straightens up and his eyes rove over my body. Oh, I'd like to, handsome. But I won't exactly be able to drive like that. But you are welcome to lie down for a bit if you want. Gotcha. And thanks. Anytime. I make a point of checking out Cassidy's butt as he gets into the cab. It's round and large. Nice. He's pretty hot. Definitely interested, too. To think I'd meet another homo less than 24 hours after I started my journey. It must be some sort of miracle from God. Yeah, it's just plain luck. Either way, I wonder if he'd let me join him in the shower. I'll absolutely have to see. The back area of the truck is surprisingly lovely. The mini fridge doesn't have much, but there is the promised Gatorade and some microwave meals. And a microwave, of course. Didn't realize this kind of truck has that, but it makes sense. Even though long-haul truckers make a good amount, getting takeout all the time would be expensive and unhealthy. I pull out a Gatorade and take a big swig. Damn, does it hit the spot. I'm not used to people noticing my needs like that. It feels nice. Comforting, even. Shame I couldn't have had Cassidy as my dad. Probably would have sorted out at least half of my issues by now. No use crying over what could have been, though. That said, maybe he would let me call him Daddy. That'd be fun. I sit down on the bed just as the engine roars to life. That took a while. Wonder if Cassidy's been having engine trouble. Hopefully not. I assume whatever company he works for would pay for the repairs if necessary, but it would still kind of suck. The air conditioner kicks in soon after the truck starts. It hits the back of my neck, immediately cooling me down. It's only a 10-minute drive, so I bask in the air for all of it. During this time, I started picturing what it would be like to travel somewhere like Alaska. Maybe it'd be snowing, or perhaps I could try ice skating. That'd be sweet, considering all the places I grew up in were hot as fuck. I'm just starting to feel too cold when I notice the trucks slow down and stop. Cassidy knocks on the door. Hey kid, we're here. I hop out of the truck, deliberately stumbling so Cassidy has to catch me. Whoa, careful. Sorry, my legs are a little sore. Are you good to go? I don't mind if you lie down for a little. Yeah, I'm good. The hot water will help. Then there's nothing to worry about. Lead the way, handsome. Cassidy grins. You got it. Surprisingly, the truck stop is 2 stories tall. Whoa. Is it usual for truck stops to be this nice? Not like I've been in any before, but the ones I've passed have always been 1 story. They usually are a little smaller, yeah. I always stop at this one because it's pretty nice. Not totally sure why this one is better, but the showers are especially nice here. Oh, really? What makes them so nice? They're cleaner than usual, and the shower heads are the overhead kind. Huh. I couldn't guess that even if I was betting money. I decide to push the flirting a little more. Maybe I could join you if you want to show me exactly what it is you like about them. You see what you want and you go for it, huh? I like it. I'd be happy to show you something you'd like in there. Oh, I already see several things I like. We're still a little bit from the building, so after I look around to make sure no one is looking at us, I slap Cassidy's ass. His eyes open wide in excitement before narrowing. Fuck, kid. You certainly know how to get an old man riled up. Careful. I might be more than you can handle. I know how to handle hot guys. I bet you look smoking with water running down your body. Well, you'll just have to find out. But come on, let's hurry to the showers. I don't know how long this is, but I think there's maybe enough to put it into 2. Yeah, let's try that, and if not, then I guess I'll just shove it into 1 episode. But anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.